Hello, this is Monty Van Wart, your instructor. Today we have Rebecca Christopher again. We had her in a guest lecture before, and she has returned to do another section for us on compensation today. And so she's going to be talking to us a little bit about um, pay philosophy as well as different considerations having to do with raises. So our first question coming from our chapter is, an institution's pay philosophy is largely established by its funding source. Is the pay philosophy for CSUSB generally lead, match, or lag relative to the local employment market? Is there variation among jobs? Are there other work conditions that affect or counterbalance CSUSB's pay philosophy? So let's turn now to Rebecca Christopher.
Thank you. Well, we certainly do not lead in the employment market on base salaries alone. I'm sure, as you know. However,
No.
however, when you look at CSUSB as a total benefit package, and I'm talking in terms of salary, that's adding typically an extra 38% on top of your base salary. With that, in addition to the salary, I believe that that would put us at market value. With San Bernardino County, I would say that we are at market level. In terms of variation among positions and classifications across campus, I find that our healthcare and our technology-based type classifications tend to lag, and that would be especially in comparison to private market sector.
Excellent. How do we do with other government employees? We do have a fair number of government employees in the Inland Empire. They tend to be paid slightly above the market. Are we a little below most government employees in terms of our salary structure at the university as a public agency? Or do you feel that we are about the same as municipalities and the county?
We might be slightly below. One of my recruiting techniques that I use when I'm recruiting candidates that may be taking a slight pay cut or maybe taking a lateral promotion type of a deal is that our retirement contract that we have with the CalPERS agency is a lot different than it is with the other local public agencies. We offer lifetime medical benefits, which after retirement is just priceless, and that actually is the one thing that attracts a lot of our police officers here to our campus to come and work as state police officers instead of public agency police officers.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. And so then our next question is, can you provide a brief overview of the individual considerations for raises, something that we all look forward to, for CSUSB employees? That is, how much are raises based on COLAs, longevity pay, merit, and the attainment of specific skills?
Well, we are a collective bargaining agreement environment, so a lot of the salary adjustments and increases are going to be based on collective bargaining. The CSU does have a system-wide general salary increase program, and I think that would be most comparable to a COLA, cost of living increase type of raise. The one that most employees received last year was 2%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we have gone years before without increases, just mainly due to the state budget. We also offer, per collective bargaining agreement, stipend programs. Those would be for temporary type of work based on projects that are truly meant to be temporary. We have in-range progression programs, and those types of increases are going to be more for increased skills or knowledge, retention. If maybe you get an employment offer somewhere else, we could come back with an increase there. It could be for work that is performed that doesn't necessarily warrant a promotion to the next step up in skill level, or it could be for performance and merit.
Can you distinguish between a step that you might see at many government bureaucracies where every 6 months, every 12 months, every 2 years, whatever, there's an automatic step and an in-range progression? How are they similar? How are they different?
Well, the STEP program, we do have that with our Unit 8. Those are our police officer employees. Those are bargained for through their collective bargaining agreement, and for every, oh, it went off.
No, it's on.
Oh, okay. Sorry
Go ahead.
So those are going to be for every year of service that you have, you get that automatic increase. In-range progressions are a lot harder to obtain on our campus.
Yes.
They are specifically for those items which I mentioned: performance, merit, increased skills, and knowledge. I typically, when I review them, tend to notice more increased duties and skill level when I'm awarding them.
And do you have any, while we're following up on that, do you have any tips, if you were providing tips for either the employees or for managers about how to make sure that they would qualify for the in-range progressions, since they are monitored by HR?
Yes, they are heavily monitored by HR. And tips for answering those questions on the in-range progression form is to quantify the information that you're putting on there. Your duties have increased from X to Y. We need to see a difference in the duties that you're doing, not just a statement saying, I am doing different duties. So we need to provide clear examples. The in-range progressions don't require us to interview you to ask additional questions. So if the information is not clearly written on your request form, it's likely to be denied.
And is there a difference between an in-range progression and a reclassification?
Yes, there is. An in-range progression is for an increase within your own skill level. So that would be where you're performing maybe additional duties that don't require you to perform those at 51% or more. If you are performing those additional duties at 51% or more, you would be required to bump up to the next skill level.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Did you mention the specific skills? Did you have some examples there about some places where specific skills will trigger an increase, a raise?
Well, in our technology, it's an ever-changing type of environment. Although it is expected for a technology-based position to keep up with that on a regular basis, there's always going to be additional programs that they may learn, systems that they may need to acquire in order to perform their job duties, which wouldn't necessarily merit an in-class or an in-range, a reclassification to a higher skill level. It's
Right.
just within that type of skill level that we would merit that increase.
Excellent, yes. And then my final question is, how often does CSUSB use bonuses and differentials? And I don't think it does do it very often, but I think we probably have a few examples on the campus.
Right, we don't have a bonus program for all collective bargaining agreements. Our Unit 4, which is for our academic professionals, they are the unit that does offer those types of bonuses. They have educational achievement type bonuses, and they also have longevity type bonuses as well.
Excellent. Well, once again, Rebecca Christopher has come to our aid. We virtually applaud her very much, and the HR unit for assisting us, or the HR department here on campus. And so Rebecca, thank you very much.
Welcome.